You know that feeling when you open your net worth statement and it doesn't match what you see on social media? Like when you're comparing yourself to everyone else and wondering if you're actually doing okay financially. There's a specific number where everything becomes clear. Most financial gurus will tell you that getting rich is about earning more money. But here's what they're missing. It's not about how much you make. It's about understanding where you actually stand right now. That clarity completely transforms your financial reality. My name is Alex, and I spend way too much time thinking about where people fall on the wealth spectrum. And honestly, I know this might hit different than you expect. So hit that subscribe button if this ends up helping you figure out exactly where you stand. The truth is, being in the top 10% doesn't work the way most people think it does. Here's the thing. Getting to the top 10% isn't this distant, impossible dream that only lottery winners reach. But it's also not what you think. It's kind of like pushing a boulder uphill. Most people are straining, sweating, questioning every step. They're working harder and harder but feeling like they're getting nowhere. They wake up exhausted, grind through their day, and go to bed wondering if they're even making progress. Years pass. The boulder looks like it barely moved. That exhaustion becomes their normal. But then something shifts. You reach a certain net worth. And suddenly, that same boulder? It almost rolls on its own. The effort stays the same. The results accelerate. You're not trying harder. You're just in a different position now. Here's where it gets really interesting. The Federal Reserve's data shows that the median American household has a net worth of around $193,000. That's the middle. Half of people have more. Half have less. But the top 10%? That threshold sits around $1.8 to $9 million in net worth. That's a massive gap. And most people don't realize they're not even in the same stadium. Here's where the psychology gets wild. When you're below the median, your brain operates in what researchers call survival mode. Every unexpected expense feels catastrophic. You're thinking about the next month, maybe the next quarter. Your attention is fragmented between bills, debt, and what-if scenarios. Your mental bandwidth is completely consumed. But when you cross into the top 10%, something neurologically shifts. You're not living paycheck to paycheck anymore. You're not wondering if a $2,000 car repair destroys your plans. Your mind moves from, how do I survive? To, how do I optimize? That's not just a mindset shift. That's a fundamentally different operating system. Here's where the math gets exciting. Let's say you're 30 years old right now with zero net worth. Not uncommon. You start systematically building wealth. You sock away $12,000 a year. That's about $1,000 a month. Nothing crazy. Nothing unsustainable. Year 1 you have $12,000. Year 5, you have $60,000. Year 10, you have $120,000. But here's the acceleration. Once you hit that $120,000 mark and you're earning investment returns, suddenly year 15 you're at $250,000. Year 18, you're already closing in on that $1 million mark. You didn't increase your savings, same $1,000 a month the entire time. But the compounding started working for you instead of against you. That's the difference between the top 10% and everyone else. It's not that they saved more in the last few years. They started earlier or made smarter choices consistently. Now, to actually earn your way into the top 10% of household income, you're looking at about $200,000 a year, depending on where you live. Some places it's a bit less. Some places it's higher. But here's the reality check. Only about 10% of American households earn that much. That means 9 out of 10 households can't income hack their way to the top. So the real path? It's wealth, not income. It's the compounding effect of saving and investing consistently over time. When you reach that threshold of roughly $1.8 million in net worth, something fundamental changes about how you see the world. Expenses become manageable. You're not stressed when your kid needs braces. You're not panicking when the roof needs repair. You're not checking your account obsessively. That's not just a financial skill. That's a life skill. That's the difference between chronic stress and actually breathing. Here's where most people mess this up. They look at the top 10% and think it's impossible, so they give up before they start. Or they look at it and think all they need to do is make more money, and they ignore the building blocks. Big mistake. According to research from Vanguard, over 70% of Americans don't have a proper investment strategy. They're working, they're earning, But that money isn't compounding. It's sitting in a checking account losing value to inflation. That's not a money problem. That's a strategy problem. And the other trap? People think once they reach that threshold, they can relax and stop. That's how wealth disappears. It's not a destination. It's a foundation you have to maintain and build on. Look, being in the top 10% financially won't make you rich overnight. It won't solve your life, but it will fundamentally change how you think about money. It shifts you from scarcity thinking to abundance thinking. It changes what you believe is possible. And here's the beautiful part. You don't need to earn $1 million a year to get there. You need consistency. You need a plan. You need to start now, because the people who are in the top 10% right now, they didn't start with money. They started with a decision to build wealth systematically. They started earlier than they thought they should. They started with less than they wanted. But they started. So here's what I want you to do. Figure out where you actually stand right now. Calculate your net worth. Don't estimate it. Know the real number. Then make the decision. Are you going to be in the top 10%, or are you going to keep wondering? Your future self is counting on you. Trust me, they'll thank you for it.